So we know who you are. You're an amazing person. You fought
Thank
tooth and
you.
nail for everybody here. You're a voice that really, which I love, is you are unapologetic. Like that is like you can't get more unapologetic than Goldie Mari. Seriously, you're
You
like
know,
I'm the
but here's the thing, like when we are dealing with an existential threat, when we are dealing with people who literally want to murder us just because of who we are, we have to be unapologetic, right? Like we have to be unapologetic and we have to be able to be strong enough, I think, to call it out for what it is. So yeah, I'm unapologetic and I think that's really resonating with people.
is. That's the word that everybody's been using because we've been told, all of us, put your heads down, don't cause any problems. In the meantime, everybody else around us is causing problems. Like we're told to look down, not to avoid being noticed, but I think it's to avoid noticing.
Yeah.
Right. So let's dive right into this. So we're going to go. When we started talking again, when we started working on this, we were going to talk about the article of the 450 Hamas members in Canada. Then Bondi Beach happened today. And now we got yesterday this entourage of Canadian MPs being stopped at the border. Who anybody who knows anything knows that if you're going to be traveling to Israel, that's not the best border to probably go through. So let's start with that. We're going to work backwards on that, if that's okay.
Of course. Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
you know more about this than I think anybody else would know. So fill me in about what you know about what happened, and for anybody who doesn't know, as well as what that Jordanian border's like.
So, I mean, I only know what everyone else knows from the media, from the
Right.
news, but it appears as if a certain number of MPs who were, first of all, I don't even know how they got to Jordan. Like, that's very, very bizarre that federal MPs would go to Jordan as part of some sort of delegation. Like, I don't even, like, first of all, that's just like, okay, what? Like, that's very weird. But anyway, so then and apparently this trip was funded by the
The Muslim vote.
yeah, the Muslim vote, right? So the Muslim vote, which as we all know, is linked to the Muslim Association of Canada and the National Council of Canadian Muslims, which of course those are linked to the Muslim Brotherhood through CARE in the
Mhm.
United States. So already, like, it's pretty sketchy. And then for them to try to get into Israel through the Jordanian border, very because that's going basically into, like, I'm assuming they wanted to go into Judea and Samaria, and maybe, I don't know, go see like some Hamas terrorists or, freedom fighters
Well,
and
yeah,
all that.
because they could have gone in if they landed in Tel Aviv, driven to Jerusalem. They could have gone in,
Yeah.
no problem.
Yeah,
Like
and I
you,
and
you
I've actually been to Judea and Samaria. I went to the Dead Sea. Now, of course, like I went with some Jewish friends, so I mean they were kind enough to drive me there. But like I've been there. I've been through um like the security controls and everything like that. And so it is definitely possible to get to Judea and Samaria by landing in Tel Aviv. It seems like these people wanted to go through the back door.
yeah.
What did they think? Like, who did they think controls the border? Did they I don't know. Did they think that if they go through the Jordanian border, that would be controlled by, I don't know, Palestine, like Palestinian Authority or something? Like,
I
it's the
personally
whole
think
thing is
that they
very
knew
strange.
they would be stopped. I think because if they went through Israel, if they went to Jerusalem, they wouldn't have had a problem at all. You have members of like IJV and all that. They go there, they spend like the summer in Judea and Samaria. So if they're getting in, right, it shouldn't have been a problem for anybody else to get in. So that's where we have issue number one. That's how I see it. This was a stunt. It's almost like the land crossing of a flotilla. Like they knew
Yes.
they weren't going anywhere. And then my question is when I look at the MPs who went, and then we look at the organization. So when you look at that organization who brought them with, how are these MPs able to be tied to these people? So like there's so many questions that I have that and heaven forbid we say the wrong words. So we're going to be very careful on the words we choose. So that's about Jordan and the crossing there. They didn't get
Yeah.
in
The thing I would say about that is, it's really important to follow the money.
always,
Yeah.
always. So how do we follow the money? What would you say? Like, who follows the money? Like we can do it, but we know if we go anywhere, and we know is our government following? There's so many things. There's so many. It's these are all games, and when you look at the players, what do we do to try and get this to stop? Right. So let's pivot from there a bit. So we talked about Judea and Samaria and this show of what they tried to do. Let's talk about Bondi Beach. Let's talk about the cells that we have here, right, and how that ties back to Iran, to funding, to Qatar, to everything. Let's see what your thoughts are.
So I mean, I'm still waiting to get more news on this, but first of all, my condolences to everyone on the tragedy. It's such a horrific thing, and my thoughts and prayers are with everyone. May the memories of the victims be a blessing. I'm still waiting to get more information on this, but I'm seeing some preliminary reports coming from trustworthy Iranian media outlets. Like these are outlets that are not affiliated with the Islamic Republic. These are other outlets. No one, like, we don't trust anything coming out of
Right.
media in occupied Iran. But these reports are saying that there may be some ties between the Islamic Republic and this terrorist attack at Bondi Beach, either through funding or so we know that they were like the two terrorists were somewhere in Southeast Asia. I forget which country it was, but they were
Mhm.
there training. The son had known ties to ISIS. See, this is the part that's crazy for me. This is the part that I just don't understand. Security officials knew that he had ties to Islamic terrorists, and yet they did nothing about it because they didn't think that he was a threat. And what
Right.
is really, really scary about this is that there are people in Canada who have been going out for the past 2 years waving the flag of ISIS, waving the flag of Hezbollah, waving the flag of Hamas, waving the flag of the Islamic Republic. And when we say these are terrorist flags, these people are sleeper cells, we're told, oh, you're Islamophobic. Meanwhile, look what happened at Bondi Beach. And I don't know if you heard this. I just woke up today to the
Yeah, I was
news.
just going to bring that up.
Yeah, like today. So I make a video about, like, I don't know if you saw my video that I
Mhm.
posted on YouTube yesterday, where I basically say, if you think that what happened at Bondi Beach is because of Israel, you need to wake up because these people are coming after you. And I shared some videos of what like these imams are saying in their mosques, right? And when they're talking about murdering the infidels, right? There's no mention of Israel. There's no mention of Jewish people. It's basically Muslims versus everyone else, right? And
Right.
so
I don't think people understand what infidel means.
yeah,
Infidel is not the translation to Jew.
no, it's not. Infidel is non-Muslim. So I'm an infidel, you're an infidel. Anyone who's not a Muslim is an infidel. Anyone who doesn't even follow their kind of Islam is an infidel, right? So we're all infidels, which means they have permission from their God Allah to murder us. So I made a video about this because, one thing that I'm trying to do is to raise awareness about all of these Islamic terrorist attacks and try to make people realize this has nothing to do with Israel. This is what jihad looks like. This has been going
Mhm.
on for 1400 years. And so I make this video. I think it's probably my most popular video so far to date on YouTube. And I think it already has like over 120,000 views or something in less than 24 hours. But less than 24 hours after I make that video, I wake up to the news that
Seven men,
yeah,
seven men detained, and they had to ram it off the road. And what they found, like this is mind blowing, and this is not a copycat. This is now terror, right? When we know when we go to an event that's public, it'll be even more police patrol. And let's be honest, I went to the Hanukkah lighting of the menorah at Shepherd of Bathurst on Sunday. 125 cops. Not a single one could have stopped a shooting, like at all. And when I'm going to pull this up here, when I did a video yesterday talking about the songs that they're playing, and let's tie this all together here. You know, they were playing a song, blaring on their speakers, while the west side of the street was, saying, prayers over candles. These are the words, and this is what people need to understand. The words of the song they were playing in Arabic. So it played in Arabic, and then it repeats in Hebrew. So anybody who speaks Hebrew can understand what they're saying. Without your contentness, I will swear on pride, we will stomp on you. Without your contentness, we came to your borders. Without your contentness, we will smash your head. We are a Palestinian nation. Without your contestedness, you son of a Jew. I'm not even going to go on to more of that, but it's pretty much like, so that's the first layer, right? And again, we're not going to go into the whole police not doing anything. We'll deal with that a different day. But when these are the words that are being spoken out loud on a song, on a speaker, how far are we from having a Bondi beef, God forbid, here in Canada?
I don't think we're that far away. I don't think we're that far away at all. I cannot think of any other society currently, any other society or culture or civilization um, that right now in like 2025 creates pop songs about murdering people. It's literally
Right?
the Palestinians that do that. And I mean, they even have like this weird jihadi boy band, like this weird jihadi Hamas boy band. And in like 2016 or something, they wrote this song about intifada, and the music video is like is it's the craziest thing. It's basically like, we will stomp on the head of the Jews, we will blow them up, and it's literally like it's like the jihadi version of the Backstreet Boys. And so these people, I truly believe that they are savages. There's a reason that no one in the Middle East wants them, right? Like no country in the Middle East takes them in because everywhere they go, they destabilize. But unfortunately, you have, it's just because those countries aren't taking them in doesn't mean that they also are on the side of Israel. So they don't take them in, but, they blame Israel for all of these problems. And now they're being imported here into Canada. So you have a culture of savages who are literally taught to hate and to glorify murder and death. And so you're importing them into Canada. They're bringing their jihadi baggage with
Hmm.
them, and yeah, like it's very very frightening. And it's like, how much more do we have to raise awareness before people start taking us seriously? And God forbid, like, do people need to be murdered before Canadians wake up and realize that we have an Islamic Jihad problem here in Canada too?
Well, I'll tell you, back in June, I was at a briefing, a presentation by CSIS, and somebody had asked that question: when will things change? When can legislation change? When can we? Because everyone goes back to legislation. We have the laws. We have laws to stop this. But when they go to when they said, when will legislation change? And the person presenting from CSIS said, well, we're hoping that it doesn't take a mass casualty event, but that's what it's going to look like. And we hope that would make a change. Wait a second. We have to wait for a mass casualty event to maybe change legislation. And when you look at it, you look at, just yesterday, a report comes out now, the report's always been there, but they're talking about it now saying, we have credible evidence and proof that there might be an attack and it might involve the Jews. We've been saying this for 2 years now, right? And going back I just want to say quickly about no other countries around there wanting them. And there are problems in every country around. I've been saying this for probably 30 years. All those other countries need Israel because they're the bad guys. So when you can target everyone to hate that one country, you're focusing your energy and your hate on that country. You're not noticing how bad the stuff is in yours, right? It's a great distraction as well. But then when we look at every country they've been to, like you said, that kind of that red-green alliance we've all talked about for a while, that happened in Lebanon, that happened in Jordan, that happened in Syria. Like
Kuwait.
they know Kuwait, they know, right? But here we're looking at it going like, we literally have this red green alliance and it's across the board. And what do we do about it? And it's so infuriating because we're going up an uphill battle. And again, it's not just the Saturday people, then the Sunday people. Let's be honest here. For 30 years, we've not been saying Merry Christmas at the checkout counter during Christmas time. 100 churches burnt to the ground that nobody's talking about, right? That evangelical, country singer who came here in the summer, he was losing his ability. They were taking his permits to sing in a park, like because he was a MAGA guy. That wasn't the reason. It was because he was preaching gospel. So that's where we have a bigger problem. So what do you think our best steps are moving forward? I don't want to take up too much of your time. You've been great. What do you think we can do? You're so outspoken. You're so out there. And let's be honest. I want to first off give you a lot of credit because I don't think people realize how hard it is to do what you do. I'm not even near what you do. And I know what I get, right? We now have 9 cameras around our house. We've got security that drives by 12 times a day. We have had people come to our house, right? I've been told flat out, know when Uber is coming. Like, if anybody comes to your house at a time that you're not expecting them, do not open your door, right? So I know what I go through, and I'm barely outspoken compared to what you do. How? So first of all, thank you. And
My pleasure.
how do you deal with it? Like, what do you do? I know, like you've been a public figure for a long time, but this steps it up. Like, I don't think you were getting the death threats in Queens Park like you're getting now.
Yeah, I mean that's true. I mean, politicians, not all of them, but I certainly was getting death threats even way back. But yeah, I mean the death threats have gotten even more. I've triggered a lot of like these big jihadi accounts who are now like making hate videos about me. But if anything, like I haven't seen any of these hate videos because I like that's not my thing. Like, because I was in politics, like I'm used to people like hating on me, right? But the fact that they're making all these hate videos and I'm hearing about it lets me know that I'm on the right path. And what they're
Yes.
actually doing is they are giving me free publicity because not only their supporters see those videos, so then people come and they find me. Yeah, and of course, security is a big deal, and just like you, I have proper security measures. But isn't it interesting how the radical jihadis, right? They can live their lives freely. They can go around spewing hate, waving their terrorist flags, and yet, someone like you or someone like me who wants to speak out against it, we can't exercise our freedom of speech. We don't have the right to say what we want to say because those people will now put us on a hit list and want to murder us. So people need to wake up to that fact and realize that. And I would say one of the best ways for me as an Iranian, for you as a Jew, to raise awareness about what we are going through, I find is that it's always best to um, describe it and explain it and contextualize it in a way that other people can understand. So, for example, when I posted a video, just a short, my most recent Iranian here video, where I talk about the Christmas markets,
Mhm.
that's gone. I think that's probably my most viral Iranian here video yet because it's resonating with Christians. It's resonating with Christians around the world because now they're seeing, okay, like all these excuses that the jihadis were giving, right? They've been blaming Israel for everything for the last,
Yes.
I don't know how long. So I asked in my video, I'm like, okay, so if everything is Israel's fault, what does a Christmas market in Germany have to do with Israel? And why are Muslims targeting a Christmas market in Germany? Right. And people that's clicking, it's resonating with them. And they're like, yeah, why is that happening? So I think how we move on, how we move forward, I would say that's probably the best way is to give concrete, solid examples, grounding it in real life, and basically showing people that we're not just talking about a conflict 3,000 miles away in the Middle East, right? That war, that jihad is right here, and those Islamists have imported their jihad, and whether we like it or not, we have to deal with it. So we can either be, try to be politically correct and wind up dead, or we can take a stand, call it out, and fight back.
And there's nothing wrong. People have to know there's nothing wrong with calling it out, right? And like you said, like the Christmas markets. I mean, I just read today in Paris they're canceling their Christmas Eve and their New Year's. Like, and this is what is wanted. This is what the jihadis want. We have to remember. No, I want to preface this, even though it's a hard thing to say sometimes. Not every Muslim is an extremist. We know that. They have opinions. So do I. I'm going to put it out there right now. However, let's start with the fact that roughly, and this is, I'm going to give a 2008 number. In 2008, roughly 15% of Muslims were radicalized extremists. That was 2008. That was almost 20 years ago. In 2008, that is the pin of the United States of America. That is 315 million radicalized people. Let's add 20 years to that, or almost 20 years. That number's got to be up higher. We know it is. And we know that they can't go to other countries. So where are they going? They're going to where they can, and they're using our laws and our systems against us. Calling it out. There is nothing wrong with calling it out. There's nothing wrong, again, going back to being unapologetic, going out saying, no, Iranian here. Like, that's like, we're allowed to say the truth, because if we don't speak the truth, and we also have to question it, we just can't speak our truth. We have to ask questions, because nobody's asking questions. Have you noticed that? Nobody's asking why this happened. Why, and they put it, and they attach labels to it, where you look at, again, let's go to this Christian country singer. He was a MAGA. Who cares? I don't care who you vote for. He wanted to preach his gospel. Preach the gospel, right? And we have to tie it back to, the Iranian voices that are that are being silenced, like yours, right? It's hard to silence you, but they're trying. The Jewish voices, which are being silenced, because it's easy to quiet a community that's so small, right? And people are scared. But we have to involve everybody else. And when I say things like, and you've heard it, the allies, you're an ally, right? You're also a friend, right? The allies, we have to remember, are, World War II, it was a group of countries that were all allies together. So we have to work together as a team of allies, fighting for everything, fighting for Iran to get their sovereignty back. And I loved how you said, and we have started using the language properly, occupied Iran.
Yeah, because you know what? That's the flag of Iran right there, the lion and sun.
Yeah.
That's the flag that we had before the Islamic dictatorship occupied our country in 1979. So you're right, it is. And that's the thing. Iran is the real occupation in the Middle East, not, the fake occupation in Gaza, right? Like those people who are crying about occupation, they're the ones who helped the Islamic dictatorship occupy Iran in 1979. So to me, like, they are the occupiers of Iran. That's how I
And
see
did it
it.
in a way, they were the first ones to weaponize the word Islamophobia.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't invent it. From my research, started up in 1912, from what I've been reading, and disappeared. The word disappeared and was brought back literally in 1978 to suppress, ready? Going to blow our minds here, to suppress any statement you make against Islam, to shut you up, which ushered in and ushered out secular Iranians, right?
It
The
was
amount of
basically
people,
it was basically created to silence Iranians from speaking out against the Islamic
yeah.
dictatorship, and now, of course, it's expanded, and now they use it, for everyone. I mean, anything you want to say, even legitimate criticism is now considered Islamophobia. I mean, that's
Well,
basically, if I just me saying Iranian here is probably Islamophobic to them at this point. So, like,
I'm sure that this logo is eventually going to be made Islamophobic. Like,
of course.
it's everything that, and anytime you speak up, and I've done this before, and I actually did this in one of the police board meetings, where I actually said out loud on video to the entire police board, is calling out Islamophobia. You are not Islamophobic if you're saying the truth.
Yeah.
And they were all taken back a bit, but that's the truth. It's not Islamophobic to say the truth. And every
Yep.
time we say something and we're told that's Islamophobic, I look at that as being, that's the truth then. I've just said truth because you're pushing back. That's where we're at. Listen, where do people find more of you? I know everybody here knows you, but we're going to get this out on other channels here. So where can people find Goldie and support Goldie and get you going? We need to make sure your voices are out there a hell of a lot more.
Well, thank you so much. So the, Instagram, of course, Instagram is, you can find me there. But I would encourage everyone to follow me on YouTube. The link to my YouTube channel is available on my Instagram profile. So,
And we're going to tag it in here as well. We'll make sure that your Instagram thing's in there.
Appreciate that. So I actually do daily live streams on YouTube. So I go live at 12 noon Eastern, Monday to Friday. And I talk about all things related to the Middle East, share opinions. Yesterday we were watching a podcast with Raymond Ibrahim. Today, at the request of one of my channel members, I'm going to be playing some interviews by Dr. Gad Sad. So that's going to be a good one today. That's we're going to be doing that live at 12 noon. And I also bring in people sometime, like guest speakers. So I would actually love to have you on.
For sure, I'd be happy
at some
to.
point on my YouTube channel, because I get a lot of views there, and my YouTube channel is really, really growing. Like, I did not realize how much demand and interest there would be on YouTube. So so I've had my YouTube channel for a very long time, but it was dormant. Like, I just posted a few political videos here and there, just like the cheesy, politics, vanilla nonsense. But since I started starting these live streams, my YouTube channel has grown. So on October 1st, I was at around 1,500 followers. Today, in about 2.5 months later, I'm at 51,000.
Wow, unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm gaining like at least 1,000 followers a day on YouTube, and my videos are getting thousands. Some now they're starting to get hundreds of thousands of views. So yeah, everyone
That's
definitely
amazing.
make sure to that's where you would see the most of me is on YouTube. Yeah,
Okay,
and
so
I
that's
look forward to having you on as well.
it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it as well. So, what do you have planned over the next little while? You're going to take some time off over the holidays. What are you doing?
Um,
Without telling people where you're going to be.
Well, no. Like I'm not going anywhere. Like I'm not taking any
Yeah.
trips or any vacations or things like that. I'm still trying to find my groove with my videos and stuff. I'm actually having a very good problem right now. The problem is that because my channel is growing so quickly, people want more content from me. So I'm trying to figure out how to make more videos and put out more content. Content creation is hard. I didn't realize how challenging it takes a lot of time. Like I'm basically putting in like 12-hour days. I mean, I love it, don't get me wrong, I love it, but it's
It's work. It's a job.
it
It's a job.
is it is you know for any like Muslim terrorists who are like watching this live stream, can you guys just like slow it down a little bit? Because I still haven't made a full video clip. Like I haven't made a full clip about the Christmas markets, and then I wake up to the news about like jihad in Australia again. So it's like, just guys, tone it down just a
Yeah.
little.
We
It's
need time to catch up with what you're doing. Like it's
yeah,
so insane, and we're gonna see more and more of that. I mean, with Christmas coming up in a week, and let's just make sure that we say the right things, everybody. First off, Merry Christmas, everybody, because
Merry Christmas and
it's
Happy Hanukkah.
and Happy Hanukkah, because it's okay to say it, right? Like it's okay to go to my kids used to say to me, I go to the cashier, like for years, I'd be like, Merry Christmas. And my kids were like, it's Happy Holidays. I'm like, she celebrates Christmas.
When I was a politician, when I sent out, my holiday cards every year, I always unapologetically said Merry Christmas. So everyone got a Merry Christmas card, regardless of what, like, I never said Happy Holidays. I made a point of saying Merry Christmas.
Yeah. And I've gotten a few from politicians recently who I'm friends with who it's a Christmas card, but inside they've, hand signed it saying, hey, Matt, happy Hanukkah. Like, kind of altering, which is great. But we just need to, again, be unapologetically open, truthful, speak our minds, speak the truth, and keep going. So I've loved following you for the last couple of years. Going back to when you're a politician, there were very few people who I'm like, I like that person.
Thank you.
Again, we have to speak up, right? And my thing is this: speak up, question everything. It's okay to ask questions. We need to ask questions. Read a hell of a lot. And I think especially not as many people know a lot about Iran. They don't. They really don't. And we need to get more information. So your channel is a great way to do that. And the more we know, the better, because there are a lot of countries out there that support one another. And hopefully we can get it back, because I've spoken to people that I know who left Iran before the revolution. And hearing what Iran was like back then, it'd be great if that could come back.
That's what we're working towards.
So
Yeah.
awesome. All right. So let's talk again in the new year. I want to thank you so much, Goldie. I'm going to tag you on everything here and get all your channels out, and hopefully we'll grow that YouTube channel even more.
Thank you so much, and thank you for
Awesome.
having me. And this was great. I really, really enjoyed this, and I look forward to connecting on YouTube in the future.
Amazing. Sounds
Thank
great.
you so much.
Have
All
a great
right,
Goldie.
take care. Happy
All right.
Hanukkah.
You too. Bye bye. All right. That was Goldie. She was amazing. Again, thank you all for watching today. We're going to get this all clipped up. We are actually going to throw this onto our YouTube channel. So you can all watch it again there. And if you've missed it or you just hopped on, we had a great half an hour with Goldie today. And we're going to obviously talk to her more often down the road. And if there are people you want us to talk to, let me know. All right. Have a great one. Happy Hanukkah. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Talk to you guys soon.